Hey, everybody, welcome to Free for All Friday for the Detroit Lions on the prowl. And I'm going to give it up to my main man, Kurt Steele. What's up, man? What's up,
What
man?
up, though? Welcome to the show, people. Hey, welcome, Proud Nation, to Free for All Friday. Friday Free for All. You know how we do it. We got a ton of guests backstage. It's time to bring them in. But as always, if you haven't done so already, join the nation. You know, we are family. Subscribe to the channel because we don't have fans. We don't have viewers. We have family, and we all are Proud Nation. So, Jim, bring in the guests. Who you got, big fella?
Here we go. First, I'm going to bring in my wife. This is Valerie Bordeaux, a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Always with
Queen
the
of the Proud. She
but you know what?
has her Lions fandom.
Baby, and I'm okay. Okay.
She has her Lions fandom back there. She roots for us when the Bears aren't playing. So yeah, she does. You know, just for you, Jim. She does. You know, what I'm saying she's a closet Lions fan. She's a closet Lions fan. She got a what do you call that? A Jared Goff jersey. You know, what I'm saying under her Bears jersey. We'll be bringing it next.
No way.
All right. And next, we have Maniac Tim joining
Hey,
us. Yo, what's up, Tim?
well, I guess I'm no. Hey, training camp is up. The Lions are really starting to look good. Starting to get interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk about a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff today. Gonna add Dose of Dion 2.0. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Excited to be back. Thank you for having me. Hey, wait, hold up. Val, now, what does your little Stewie say there? Because I was trying to read it, and I'm like, I can't read it.
Oh, I think victory is mine.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I just
Yeah, I'm not convinced. Okay, welcome to the show, big fella, Dose of Dion 2.0. You know how we do it. You know how we call him here on Free for All Fridays, Mr. Mahomes Jr. Welcome to the panel, brother.
Thank
All
you,
right.
man.
And then we got Smoking Jeremy. And Jeremy, you got a new gig. Tell everybody about what you're doing now.
I just joined up with the Let's Talk Sports Network out of New York. I am officially their Detroit representative while podcasting every Tuesday at 5.
Wow. We got one more guy to add for now. We may have more people coming, but here he is, LL Cool Torrance. What up, Doe?
What up,
y'all?
yo?
Happy Friday and congrats, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Definitely. Hey, you know, my man, I gotta give it up to my man Jeremy. He held it down. He held it down for me yesterday. He appeared on my show on Fan Media Network. It will be available after we get done here. We'll post it out, man. But thanks again last night for coming on. Him and my man Easy from Woodward Sports, you know, came on and chopped it up yesterday. Real quick show, and it'll be out later on today. So let's get into the questions. It's time to talk Lions training camp, baby. What you got, Jim? Who's up first with the first question?
Well, we've got Taylor Decker announced he was vaccinated.
Yeah.
What do you think changed his mind? And I'm going to go first to my wife, Val, because I always forget if I go to her or not.
Yeah.
Probably the NFL rulings.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I feel the same way. No doubt. Okay. Short and sweet.
I got it. All right, so short and sweet. All right, Dose of Dion, you know what I'm saying? So you know that this was a big polarizing, and he really didn't talk about it. He said, you know, it's just a polarizing topic. I'm not really going to talk about it. But what do you think changed his mind? You know what I'm saying? Like really deep down, like what do you think his reasoning was for getting vaccinated?
Oh, man. See, the way you set up that question, that's a deep question. I don't really know. Like, I'm not great with this whole situation, but I would think it has to have a lot to do with, well, I mean, a lot of the team from what we're hearing and a lot of the staff, they've all gotten vaccinated now and are continuing to. So I think that's part of it. But I also think, you know, when you see guys this early being placed on that list, it's kind of like, dang, okay, it's still real. I can still be taken out for this, and you don't want to miss time for that. And, you know, Jalen Reeves maybe just got put on that. We got 2 guys on it right now. So I think that's probably something to do with it. During the offseason, it's not really like a thing. But now when we get back to it, you're missing football a little bit, and you're going to take it off. I think he just wanted to make sure he's on the field.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm gonna go to the host with the most, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Frenchie himself, Mr. Jim Bordeaux. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he was dug in. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Decker was dug in. He was like, I ain't getting that crap on my body, blah, 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 blase, blase. But all of a sudden, Yeah, I got the shot. What do you think? What do you think changes behind you?
I do think it was all the sanctions and all how hard the NFL made it on non-vaccinated players, and also the repercussions for his team. I mean, if he starts an outbreak, I don't know how they determine that, but if he starts an outbreak, we may have to forfeit a game. And so I think this team all is in for each other, and I think this really shows a unity that we haven't seen in a long time here in Prowl Nation.
Yeah, definitely. That I mean, he got a big contract, but that $15K is still a hit on your pockets. You know what I'm saying? He got married not too long ago, a couple of years ago. His wife probably was like, "Look here, guy. So you better get this thing done." All right, LL Cool Taurus, what do you think about Taylor Decker getting them shots, brother?
I'm with Val and everybody else. Maybe it was just the NFL policy, but maybe with him being one of the leaders of the team, maybe they might ask him like, hey, if you would, we actually do need this, and if you are down, then other guys will probably be down too because they understand your stance on it. So XYZ, maybe that's what it is.
Okay, I get that. The stance. LL Cool Torrance, the maniac himself. Tim, what do you got, my man?
Okay.
What do you think changed his mind?
I think that what changed his mind was that he really wanted to be on the field, but I don't think that he wanted to persuade people, because that's why he's keeping quiet about it. He wants it to be their decision to do it, and I'm sure he'll bear down. And plus, he did tell me secretly that he wanted to hug his grandma.
Okay, he wanted to hug the grandma. Okay, hey, I'll tell you, brother. Hey,
let's shout out the chat there, Kurt.
Yeah.
Let's see who's
okay,
in the chat.
Sage Sherrod still on the team, I believe so. Rob Swift, more what I know, I think he is still on the daggone team. No, Miss J, what up, though? You know what I'm saying? How getting out? The artist formerly known as, what I'm saying, PC Payload. Hey, watch out, Mahomes Jr. He always comes on you when you're on the panel. You know what I'm saying? King SJ is in the building. What's going on, big fella? Hey, Sage Roberts. Sage will be great. I guess there's a little bias, huh? He said no bias. Bro, we are not hearing that, brother, with the no bias. Sage and Sage. Harpazo Snatch. The shot should be a choice. Oh, it's a choice. You got a choice. But the repercussions, if you don't get it and you cause an outbreak, is a choice as well. Micro Mike, hey, says, what's up? What's going on, Big Mike? How you doing, fella? All right, let's round this question out with the man himself. DJ smokes a lot. Jeremy, what do you got for this question? What do you think changed Taylor Decker's mind to go ahead and get him vaccinated?
The repercussions of not being paid a game check if they have to forfeit because an unvaccinated player causes the team to forfeit the game. He said, shit, I just got paid. I can't afford to lose a game check because she might take half.
That is the thing. I mean, the guys who are married on the panel, you go home, you tell your wife you got to pay all this money back, a game check, and you got to, and plus another $15,000 and whatever else. That's a hard pill to swallow. Val, what do you think about that? If Jim had to come home and pay that big fine, just because he decided not to do something, we'd
probably be asking for half with an divorce attorney real quick.
Jim,
Wait, hold on, guys, hold on. We got Anthony in, and tell us where you're from, Anthony. I just want everybody to know. Anthony, can you hear me?
Oh shit. Sorry, I'm just dealing with a few technical issues. I do apologize. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yep, we got a new guy on the panel.
I'll come back in a second.
Okay. All right. So we had a little technical difficulty. So it's Roar of the Lions UK is where he's from. Hopefully we'll get him back here pretty soon.
Yes.
We wanted to have him on today. Well, we'll see if he can come back. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I just wanted to get that guy in, but
it's all good. Shout out to the chat. What's up, Dave Anderson? David, what's going on, fella? You know what I'm saying? He says, hey, man, protect yourself. Hey, it's a personal choice. One Pride 40's in the chat. What's going on? One Pride, you know what I'm saying?
Motorcade, baby.
Motorcade. Yeah. Welcome to the D.
Motorcade.
Cade Icewood.
Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he's doing his thing. All right, now it's time to go on to the next question. We'll get my man caught up once he gets actually into the show. So let's go ahead and go to the next question for the panel, Jim.
Okay, next question for the panel is this. Do you
Okay.
think Penei what?
I got it. Do you think Penei Sewell will be an all-pro this year? Now, this is coming from the big fella himself, Turner C. Burley. You know what I'm saying? He's a gold member for the channel. So we'll go to is that Detroit Drew coming in the building?
No, that's Nomus. Nomus
Nomus.
J's in the building.
Nomus J is in the building. What's good, Nomus J? Since you're
Hey,
coming
what's
in
going on,
first, you know what I'm
everybody?
saying? I'll ask you this question first since you're new to the panel. Do you think that Penei Sewell will be an all-pro this season?
That's a juggler there. You know
Yeah.
what?
Now-
I know for a fact he has the potential to be one, but it's really uncertain
Right.
because of the transition to right tackle, and I don't know how well he's going to catch on that fast without being off his final year of college. It can be a rough transition. Do I think he'll be all pro his first year? I don't believe so, but I do still expect him to have a really good year eventually, as it may start off slow, but I think he'll gradually get things game by game, kind of similar to Decker in his first year.
Okay, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Now our audience, I know we got a smart audience. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking all pro. We ain't talking Pro Bowl. That's a different thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
That's kind of a. I'm talking to the audience. This is a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? But we all pro. That's that Associated Press. You know what I'm saying? They do that. The sports writers. All right, we'll go to Stewie herself, Val. What do you think? We can make an all-pro selection this year.
Well, I'm with Nomus on this. I think he might have the potential, but it's highly unlikely that he'll actually make it in his first year, especially with all of the changes with the team and all of that stuff. That has a lot to do with it. So I don't see him actually getting there, but you never know. He could. He does have the potential to.
Okay. All right, Jim. Go ahead and introduce our new guest to the panel, and so we can get him into the discussion.
Yo, what's up, Anthony? How you doing? Tell us where you're from and who you represent today.
Hi. Sorry, just want to say sorry for all these technical issues. I'm in the
Not
middle of
today.
a storm at the moment, so it's
Oh,
not doing
it
good
happens.
for my... Oh, God.
Okay. So this is Anthony. He's from Roar
Can
of
you
the
hear me?
Lions, UK,
Yes.
right?
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, we're in the middle of a storm here at the minute, so the signal's not been the greatest in the world. I do apologise, but so my name's Anthony. I'm from Chesterfield over in England. I'm part of a Lions podcast over here in the UK. We're called the Roar of the Lions UK. We started up about a year ago. Just 5 of us sort of sat around having a little chat about all things Lions, and then it's slowly grown over the past year to the point now we've been getting quite a lot of good stuff. We've been doing interviews with a lot of Detroit media's top guys. We had Jeff Risdon on recently, Nick Baumgartner. We did an interview with DeAngelo Amos the other day, our undrafted free agent safety. So, it's been kind of growing, and we've been getting embraced by the community over there. So, appreciate you having me on here as well, just to be able to join in.
Okay, man. Welcome to the show. Now we'll ask you this question because you're new to the panel, just like we did Nomus J. Do you think that Penei Sewell, our first round draft pick, can be a all-pro selection this year?
I think it's going to be difficult, and the 2 reasons why. One, he's obviously switching from left tackle to right tackle. That's not the easiest transition, especially when you're going from collegiate level up to the NFL. It's going to be a different ball game for him. And also the expectation amongst this offensive line, it's, we know that it has the potential to be top 10, maybe higher. There's going to be a lot of expectation there. So I think in his first year, we might just have to temper the expectation a little bit. I think it'll take him a little bit of time to gel in, but over time, the longer it goes on, I think, we are going to see a really good player out of him, but not just this year, just yet.
Okay, I get you. Thank you for that answer. I appreciate that. And
PC,
welcome again. To
the artist known as formerly known as PC Payload said, "That's awesome. Welcome from across the pond." Matthew Ferguson said hi to you as well, Anthony. You're well known over here.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks. Yeah. Hi to you all. Appreciate it.
What's going on? Carla Brando said, "What's going on, fam? What up, though? Hey, you know how we get down." Now, I'm gonna preface this. I'm gonna take a little different stance on this question before I get to everyone else. Panay Sewell, there's so much emphasis on him switching sides. Actually, he's played more right tackle than he's played left tackle. He spent all 4 of his years in high school playing right tackle. He moved to left tackle in college. He only played 2 years at left tackle, really. So, and really maybe just 1.5, because you got to look at the Pac-12 didn't play a full schedule last year, and he sat out anyway. So he spent more time at right tackle in his career than left. So I don't think it's going to be as difficult, but I don't think he'll make a All-Pro. He has the potential to make a Pro Bowl as probably a reserve, but not an All-Pro. All right, going to the Maniac, Big Tim. What do you got, man? You think he can be an All-Pro this year?
Okay, I sure as hell hope so. But it is a lot to ask. And like you say, the former experience that he's had at that before college, it's very possible. I do think that this team is going to be elevated higher due to our coaching staff. So it is possible. Maybe not probable, but it is possible.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man. All right. We'll go to, what I'm saying, one of the Smoking Joes. All right. Jeremy, what do you got, man? You think he can make an All-Pro this year?
Can he? Yes. Will he? That's another question. And yes, you're absolutely right. He actually has played more at right tackle than he has at left tackle in his entirety of his career. The transition difference is the speed of the NFL versus the speed of college. So that is where he has to make the adjustments. I think he could. Will he? No. Pro Bowler definitely, because he's already known across the nation and everybody seems to be on board that he was consensus the best player available when Detroit picked him.
Yes, definitely. All right, there's an F5 in the building. The Tornado is in the chat. Says the Lions are loved worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide love.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. You know who. We got to go to the other Smoking Joe. You know what I'm saying? My man, LL Cool Torrance. You know what I'm saying? What you got to say about the possibilities of him making a Pro Bowl this year?
And that's I know you said that our fans are intelligent, but I actually was a little confused. Like, I want to know, could you be a Pro Bowler without being an All Pro? But
yeah,
I don't, maybe not an All Pro, but he'll probably make a Pro Bowl. Maybe not an All Pro this year, but and yeah, just to add what you were saying, outside of he played right tackle a lot. He played. If you looked at him, if you seen whatever any ESPN highlight or any cut, he played like a right tackle. And I never played on the edges of the offensive line, but the right tackle at least is perceived as the easier tackle if it's not a left-handed quarterback, because you're not protecting the blind side, you're not going against the best pass rusher, things like that. So
yeah, true. I got you. I feel you. All right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go to the curly top maniac himself, Mr. Dosa Dion. What do you think about Penei Sewell's chances of making an All-Pro selection this year?
Okay, well, I first want to say, man, we got a full house again, and I love it. It's good to see 2 new people in here. Nomus, welcome back, man. What's going on? Hey, so, Penei Sewell, look, from my understanding with the All-Pro, it doesn't run very deep. You make an All-Pro team, you got to be, one of the top couple. The first thing I looked at said it was only picking 1 from each position. If that's true, it's going to be real tough. But if they take 2, okay. I think he's actually kind of opened up a little bit at the right side. When I look at the guys that were kind of the top right tackles last year, I see Tristan Wirfs, I see Jack Conklin. So I think there's potential to push through that. But I'm going to kind of stick to how I felt when we drafted him. I still think there's going to be a learning curve for him, just because I think the way that he played, the style he played in the Pac-12 was much different than it's going to be in the NFL. I don't think it doesn't fit him. I like him on screens. I like him getting outside. He's super talented. I think years go on, we'll be saying he's a Pro Bowl, All-Pro player. But this year, I can't go that far. Plus, his right guard isn't necessarily – it's not like he's playing next to Frank. He's playing next to Big B, which we're still trying to figure out. So this tough division, I'll say he won't make the All-Pro team.
Though. If he playing next to Hawk.
That's true. That's true. And Hawk's that dude. If he makes the All-Pro team, this offensive line is going to be crazy. I'll just say that. Yeah. If year 1 he's All-Pro, oh, snap.
Yeah. Now, here's my thing. If he makes he may make a second team, because, there's a first team All-Pro and there's a second team. So that's an opportunity to make the second team. You know what I'm saying? He ain't the top of the top, but, it's up there. Okay, Closing it out, my man. You know who it is. You know how he gets down, the designer of all our shirts in the shop, Jim Bordeaux. All right, what you got, man? You think that brother can make the All-Pro team this year?
Not this year. I don't. I still think there's a learning curve for him. As a rookie, that's really difficult. There's a lot of good players in this league. I just think it's going to be difficult his first year. But I think going forward, I believe he will be. Definitely,
Okay.
but not this year.
Definitely. We got to shout out. My man, Old Timer Dave is in the building. You know Old Timer is happy.
Yeah,
because
Old Timer
the
Dave.
Mr. Cranky Butt himself reported to camp the other day, so I know Old Timer.
I said that from the very beginning with him. I'm like,
You did.
he's going to show up, and he's going to play this year.
Yeah, he called it a long time ago. Our Mac, what's good? What's good, fella? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat. You know what's going on out there. Proud Nation is holding it down. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to the next question. Jim, you got a good question for me. Okay, who do you pick to win the slot position? You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got Khalif Raymond, you got Victor Bolden, or
Anybody else you can think of on the panel. You let us know.
Now, I will say this: reports out of Allen Park is that you got Tom Kennedy, you know what I'm saying, making some moves too, but down on that depth chart. But they say Khalif Raymond is putting on the show. He's doing his thing right now. He's giving that young buck a run for his money. So we're gonna go to LL Cool Torrance first on this question. Who do you pick to win that slot position, my man? You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, Victor Bolden, or it could be your boy Kirk.
No, I'm gonna go with St. Brown.
Okay.
I just think that's he's that's where he plays out of. Like he's like if this makes any sense, or if this is a thing, like a number one out of the slot, like he's the in USC he was the guy. He was the first option out of the slot though. They put him in the slot a whole lot. So I think he'll probably win. But I would not be surprised if Khalif Raymond ends up starting the season in the slot.
Okay. Hey, all right. Matthew Ferguson with a nice comment in the chat coming from Dan Cameron the other day. Pajama Warriors. He talked about the Pajama Warriors, the guys who look good in the shells, but they stuck in pads. All right. So, wait for the pads. All right. We're going to go to my man, Anthony. Anthony, who do you pick to play the slot? You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, or Victor Bolden, or whoever else may be on the roster right now.
I fancy Amon St. Brown to get it. I mean, we've just recently finished a series looking at the college tape of all the rookies we've had this year, and you look at St. Brown and there's a lot to like what you get off the tape from him there as a slot receiver. I think he's going to be perfect for Jared Goff. One of his best abilities is to get separation off the line of scrimmage really quickly, to get away from his guy, and I think we're trying to keep Goff pressure free this year. We're trying to give him a good pocket to throw in. Then St. Brown's going to be absolutely critical to him. I mean, he's got good short burst speed. His catching ability is good. He's everything you really want in a slot receiver. So for me, he's been getting good reviews in camp. You see the extra practice he's putting in. He's the last guy off the field. I mean, what is it, about 202 catches he's catching after practice? I like the drive. I like the determination. And with the wide receiver core this year, I think it's vital that we get as many parts in place as we can. And I think St. Brown is the slot receiver going forward if he does well. And it's, we need to give him that opportunity to cement himself this year. So for me, he wins the battle. But that's not to say the other guys haven't done well either. I like what Victor Bolden's been doing. You mentioned Tom Kennedy, the chance for them to shine. But I think St. Brown's going to win it out. That's what we brought him here for. And he looks more than enough determined to get that position as his own.
Okay, I got what you're saying. You cooking with grease, brother. All right, we're going to go to the resident, monster of the Midway. Val, well, what do you think who wins the slot position battle for the Lions?
For me, it's almost the obvious choice to pick St. Brown, simply because of the fact that he has those for that position. He has the intelligence for it. He also has the biggest drive amongst all of the when you compare them to the rest of them for competition. So I think that he's the obvious choice.
The obvious choice. Okay, I feel you. All right, my man. We're gonna go to the young fella himself, Mr. Mahomes Jr. What you got, brother? Who wins that slot battle?
Man, I gotta give you credit. Every time you go to someone, you always got some like kind of good nickname. It's always different too. It's I don't know how you do that. Man, it's got to be St. Brown. Like it's okay. Khalif, I'll give him starting returner. I like Khalif because he can play the Z, and that's mainly where he played in the past. So I like Khalif. Maybe he mixes in some slot. But St. Brown is that dude. Like Torrance made a great point. A couple of you guys made the same point that he's a stud when he's in the slot. That's where he's at his best. That's where he was at his best. When you watch him, he can run the full route tree. Underneath, you can send him deep. He can attack the middle. He's not afraid to take a big hit, and he makes plays once the ball's in his hands. He's just a stud. And you talked about he's doing work after practice. He's out there catching after balls. And I got to give credit to all of them. Khalif Raymond, he's been out there doing the same thing. They're all pushing for spots. But, yeah, St. Brown's taking someone's job. Someone said in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I got to go to my boy. You know what I'm saying? He's an early riser. Jim, what do you got, man? Who do you got in winning that slot battle?
I've said this from the beginning as I thought Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be the slot corner. But I would say with Khalif Raymond, I think Perriman better watch out. I don't know if Perriman's job is safe. I don't think he would be the number 2. But right now, it's up for grabs for me. I like what Khalif Raymond's doing.
And it's been very quiet with Perryman, Rashad Perryman. The only thing that I've heard is that Jeff Okuda broke up. No, that was Tyrell Williams. I'm sorry. I ain't heard nothing about Perryman. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. That was another guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Perryman must be at Tim Hortons, you know what I'm saying, getting my man some coffee over there. I don't know, man. He may be getting JB Collins coffee. I see Collins is doing the big things, so he must have an errand boy on the roster right now. All right, we're going to go to the maniac, Tim himself. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Timmy, what you got, brother? Who you got winning that slot position?
Timmy.
Yeah.
St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, or Victor Bowden?
I gotta go with St. Brown. Work ethic, the ability to break away, to get yards after the catch. We need that. The Lions need that. So
that's what you go. Okay, I feel you, man. Hey,
Mhm.
not a problem. Okay, we're gonna go with the man with the avatar with the Pistons looking like the bat signal. Nomas J, what you got, brother?
So do I have to pick one of those names?
No, whoever you got. It don't have to be one. It could be anybody else.
Okay, so here's the thing. The easy answer obviously is St. Brown because, like I've been expressing on Twitter, his physical route running gives me very shaky Keenan Allen feels. And but the thing is, if I had to go who our slot guy, because our slots are weird, they can rotate it 2, they can rotate the slot as well. I'm going with Quintez Cephas.
Oh,
And the reason why I'm going with Quintez is because I think he made a lot of good strides at the slot receiver last year, established his route running ability, which was really crisp. He was really killing a lot of guys in routes. I know he's had some issues off the field dealing with his personal life. But one thing I know about experiencing when it comes to training camp is a lot of guys who always make noise early. When it comes to late in the training camp and the preseason, they don't tend to make the most noise then. And I'm kind of waiting to see preseason before I just assume that the position will be swallowed up right now based off what we're hearing. So I think I'm keeping my eye on Cephas and St. Brown. I'm between those two guys.
Okay, David Anderson in the chat has your back. He says, "Come on, man, we still have Cephas." Hey, Cephas is a beast. You look at what he did out at Wisconsin with a subpar quarterback pretty much his whole career in college. And, they did not pass the ball well at Wisconsin. And he made some noise, saying outside and, and kind of doing everything out there in Wisconsin as a wide receiver. All right, let's close it out with my man, Jeremy, doing his thing, puffing away. You know what I'm saying? Boy, don't collapse a lung. Okay, what you got, man? Who you got?
All right. The obvious choice is Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Jim Bordeaux said it best. We don't hear about Perriman. Sometimes not hearing is good, but when the last thing you heard out of any of the camps was bad because Dan Campbell got at him for loafing and lack of effort, it could be Amon-Ra St. Brown or Cephas at the 2, and either one could switch to either place.
Yeah.
Very true. Very
I
true.
think that too.
I do. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, just because you're a parent don't mean you're gonna be a lion. I'm just saying. Harpazo Snap said
That's
some
right.
guy mocked me when I said St. Brown kind of reminds me of Golden Tate. Okay. Do you think that guy's wrong with of me of thinking that? I don't think that you're wrong at all. I think he may have that kind of playmaking ability. He has that yak type of ability, so he can do that. You did a good comparison with Golden Tate and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Old Timer Dave says good receivers should be able to play all positions along the line, slot X, Y, not just one position. And Amon-Ra St. Brown definitely fits that bill. He played all over the field over at USC. So Sage Roberts says when he played like 6 to 8 catches, Amendola ate up all of his playing time. Okay.
Maybe you're talking about Cephas.
Maybe talking about Cephas, yeah. But and Cephas played a lot on the outside last year as well, though. He did.
I'm going to live there, and I'm going to say that St. Brown is better than Tate.
Ooh. That's
Val
right there. That's bold right there.
Val striking a damn match.
I kind of agree with her.
I will
God,
too. Tate.
Hey,
I think he works hard. I know he works hard. I can tell you that much. He's
Think
not
we'll
gonna,
see it.
he's not gonna alligator arm stuff.
Hey,
Tell you that.
Val walking through hell with gasoline draws on. She's not
and to emphasize what Anthony said, it wasn't just 202 catches. It was 101 with each hand.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
like one-handed catches and no gloves. You know what I'm saying? That
No
gloves.
that's a big deal right there. You know, it took the gloves
Especially
off.
only being about 6 yards away from the Jegs machine.
Yeah, I mean, those guys set up a jug machines in their garage. I mean, that's how close those St. Brown guys were catching these balls out of a jug machines, right there in the garage. All right, next question. Okay, Okuda wasn't the only rookie that needed surgery. It came out yesterday with Dan Campbell's presser. John Pennicini had some calcium deposits that were softball size and his shoulders removed.
Wow.
And he still played last year.
Wow.
What do you think about the last regimes, how they handle injuries? You just keep hearing this stuff coming out. You know what I'm saying? We got these rookies, these young fellas playing injured. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be playing out there with softball size, you know what I'm saying? The calcium deposits on your shoulders, putting the shoulder pads on, that has to hurt. So we're going to go to Mr. Tim himself. Big Tim, what you got, big fella? What do you think about how the last regime handled injuries, especially with the young players?
I don't think they were very up on date on their physicals and stuff because they were always drafting people that were injured, and expecting them to work through it. Well, we all know that if you're an injured player, that you're not going to perform at 100%. So I think they just totally dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, and he had a good year, you know what I'm saying, for
Right.
the most part. You know, Penny C, he probably could have played even better. You know what I'm saying? Not having those softball size calcium deposits in your shoulder, that has to hurt right there. So we're going to go to the young fella, you know what I'm saying, himself, because he's young, so he should know how about injuries. So dose of Dion, you know what I'm saying? Not Dion Primetime, but the other Dion. What do you think about Pennicini having those softball size calcium deposits removed? And how those Patricia and them just like you just go out there and play. What do you think about those guys saying that stuff?
Man, it makes me want to go back and watch just to see, like, if he wasn't using his arms, because that sounds messed up.
Right.
Like, how you playing nose not using your arms? Look, I feel like it was hit on a little bit here. The last regime, gosh, you were right. They drafted a lot of players that were hurt. That's for sure. And it sounds like we're hearing a lot of players talking about how they maybe overdid it a little bit in their rookie season. They pushed themselves too hard. We have the Jared Davis, talking about he was contemplating retirement. And it's like, it just sounds, maybe we didn't have the people there to kind of tell these people to slow down a little bit. And it feels like that's what the Lions went with when they added the mental staff basically to the front office. I feel like they're trying to make sure that they're taking care of themselves off the field. And I think those young guys, they don't really pay attention to that sometimes. They just go full go. And with that last regime, it seemed like guys were just playing through everything. And now you got guys coming off of surgery. Everybody this offseason, they're getting fixed up. So I don't know. It seems like we just needed guys to tell them, hey, cool off a little bit. Let's take a step back. Last year was kind of just, we got to make the playoffs. Like, we don't want to get fired, so you're playing through it. And then we had a lot of injuries on top of that elsewhere, so they were kind of forced to play. Last year, it was kind of a mess.
Yes, definitely. All right, you know what I'm saying, Jeremy, give me some love on this question, man. What do you think about this? You know what I'm saying? How they handle those injuries, man. I just think it's kind of, you was that old school. You just play through it. But how do you think? Do you think that's right, or what do you think about how they handle those injuries with those younger players?
The strength and conditioning coaches should have been fired at the beginning of last season when we had so many soft tissue injuries coming out right away. They were allowed to work out. They weren't allowed to work out together. Everybody did show up for the workouts prior to the season. So therefore, they weren't doing their jobs with preparing the guys for the rigors of the NFL season. And that's why you see all these injuries and surgeries coming out in the off season this year. It was horrible.
Yeah, definitely. Dave Anderson says he ran them for his purpose, do or die. You know what I'm saying? He's running. He had his fat ass sitting on that cart, and everybody else was out there running. All right, Jim Bordeaux, what do you got? Oh, how the last regime handled injuries, my man? I know you got something to say with this one.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on this one. I think they knew they were coaching for their jobs, and they wanted everyone out there, whether they were healthy or not. I think it was a selfish thing to do by that regime. I think that, and I think, man, hats off to Penasini. He played his ass off last year, and I thought he did amazing. I know he used his hands because I watched film on him shoving guys out of the way to get to the running back. This guy gave more than he actually should have for that regime. You know what I'm saying? And him coming back healthy, that is going to be, if he wasn't healthy, he put on a show like that. Wow. I'm very impressed with Penasini, but also, you got Jeff Okudah too, who had double surgery this year to get back. And I think it speaks a lot to how this regime is handling things and how that regime handled things. Totally different. Not coaching scared, not having the GM be scared and stuff like this and saying, oh, everybody's got to try to play. I don't know. And it seemed like there was a lot of injuries last year that people, played through and didn't get to play through. So total mess last year.
Yeah, definitely. We got some feedback from someone's mic. If you're not on answering a question, please turn that background off. Thank you. All right, Anthony, what do you think about how the last regime handled injuries, brother?
I think a lot of what I wanted to say has just been said just then. It was very well put, but for me, it was incredibly poor. We've heard a lot about this off-season, what's come out about the last regime. Everything down from the training was poor, the players weren't prepared properly, and now with all the injuries coming out, I mean, you knew something was wrong when for the last 2 seasons, it's felt every week like we've had such an extensive injury list with, again, a lot of soft tissue injuries in there, a lot, not so many of them coming from in-game themselves, but more from training or from, as it seems to be, overworked. But I think the unforgivable thing is they've been making these players play through injury. That is unforgivable. They know that there's problems with them and they're still sending them out there. I mean, in Okudah's case, it's been really bad for him. He's had a rough first year because injuries have held him back. The season before, TJ had the same problems with concussion, with little injuries. And, that nearly derailed his career after a year. Thankfully, he's come back stronger for it. But, again, credit to Penasini for what he's done. We're a big fan of his over here. Given where we drafted him, every week he was getting more plays. And to know that he was doing it through injury as well, it just makes it all the more amazing what he's done. But, as for the coaching staff, it's just unforgivable. Like has been said, I think they were coaching for their jobs, so they were making players play out there. I mean, Kenny Golladay, how long was he out injured for? But he never once went on injured reserve. And I think that was almost to make the fans believe that he was close to coming back, that he was able to play. But he should have gone on injured reserve, as soon as he was injured, because they knew he wasn't going to come back very soon. And instead, we just wasted a roster spot. They didn't seem to have any clue about what they were doing with it. It was, it was just handled completely wrongly, and it's unforgivable, a lot of what they did. And hopefully the next lot now are going to be a hell of a lot better with it, and hopefully Penasini gets a good chance this year, because I say we like him here.
Yeah, we like them here too. And that last regime, they didn't do a good job coaching for their jobs because they damn sure got fired. All right, no, Miss J, what do you think about the how the last regime handled the injuries?
Honestly, I'm just so glad that they're fired because it wasn't just last year. I mean, the one of the big things of injury, remember, was Stafford himself was back. And we never get any updates. It was always something to hide with him. Like, why don't you just be straight up forward and just give us a regular update? When we had Caldwell, we got decent updates here and there. Maybe not as the way we wanted, but they handled it a lot better. This regime felt it was important to hide everything that they were doing. And I just never understood why would you make a player play with certain injuries and they hold the guys out. The fact that you're doing that means that they were really bad at managing the game. Okuda obviously was suffering through it, and he took a lot of abuse due to his play, and it might have affected it to a certain degree. Plus, with that bad scheme, and then with John P. playing the way he did, being a 6th round pick on top of that, coming in, taking that role, and just being the force out there the best way he could be, battling through that injury. For a regime that didn't deserve that, for anybody to do that for, they didn't deserve it. I think it's admirable on both players, but as far as the regime goes, that's stuff to me that should get you fired off the. If anything, investigation should have came out as it was kind of looming in 2019 when it came to Matthew Stafford. There should have been multiple investigations. They've been handling the injury thing wrong since they got here.
Yeah, definitely.
Together, 2018, and it just 3 years of that. Though it kind of makes you feel bad for guys.
Yeah, it was terrible. You can tell by the first, even the first practice when they were running, they had made having those guys, exhausted, running those heels and everything like that. Just coming out the first day, just running players into the ground off the rip. All right, LL Cool Torrance, what do you think about how the last regime handled those injuries, brother?
Not to sound like the echo, but same with everybody. I think they handled it poorly. I am impressed with John Pennicini. Like, he played, like everybody said, he played really, really well. Number one, for being a 6th round pick. And, for whatever's going on with his shoulders. We can't even, it's just some stupid Patricia stuff. Because we can't even, like, New England didn't even do that. Like, a guy would be injured, it was just a leg injury or back injury. They'd be injured, they might even miss time, but they'll be listed as an injury. Like, you could cut, like, J. Cole has a line where he says it's a faster way to the bottom, or it's a better way to the bottom, wherever it is. Meaning, if you're gonna do the wrong thing, do it. If you're gonna do it wrong, at least do it the right way of doing it wrong. So if you're gonna cut, like, if you want to hide injuries, you can do it another kind of way. Don't have them out there playing, how they played and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can expect a winning team coaching, that way. I get
right.
exactly what you're saying,
right.
LL. All right, so let's close it out because she's always on the IR. She's always playing hurt. She's always posting, with the Band-Aids on her fingers from paper cuts. Val, what do you think about this? How the last regime handled injuries?
To be honest, the regime last year was an entire shit show in every aspect. But I don't think it's just related to just the last regime. This has been an issue in football for a long time. And the Lions' history way before this regime, players are taught to play like this.
Yes,
they're taught to go out like this. Look at Matthew Stafford, who broke his shoulder and said, "Get me back in the game."
Yeah, I can throw the ball. I can throw the
ball. I can throw the ball.
I think that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he wanted to do. But should he be doing that?
That's very
is the question. So, I mean, this is the behind the scenes. Last year's regime just showed how much of a problem that actually is.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you. They were definitely the brown yogurt emoji for definitely last season.
Kurt.
That's what that is.
We got Gnome has to leave. So we want to give Gnome's final thought. Gnome's J, final thoughts for today, bro.
First things I want to say is shout out to all y'all on the panel, especially you, Jim, Kurt, Y'all have a great show. I've been wanting to come on here for a long time and chat it up with y'all. I cannot wait to come back on here and do this again with y'all in the future. Uh, but far as when it comes to the Lions, people, when you hear the reports in training camp, you have to sometimes take it for what it is, where the pads are on or off. For me, the best way you probably could go about to see who's going to make the roster, you should try to look towards the preseason and try to look at the guys you don't hear about, because the fact of the matter is you're going to see everybody doing their play. If whoever's doing the play right, 9 times out of 10, the guys are going to make the roster, even if you're not hearing them in the game or hearing them on training camp a lot. Sometimes they just report the things that they took notice of. They don't always talk about the little small things that people should look at. So when it comes to training camp, that's why I guess it's a good thing to try to go so you can see everything for yourself as a fan. But, try to look for the film, when you see preseason. That's something that you have to wait for. Not to see if how they're going to look, but see who's doing what right, who's doing what wrong. And it gives you a visual effect of who could make the roster. And and I think that's just the way we go about it. Just take it with a grain of salt. Training camp is important, but it's only a part of the phase of when you comes to building the team. So for that aspect, maybe the Lions have a game plan afterwards and they make cuts. But let's just take every day of training camp as it is. Y'all have a blessed day and happy Friday to everybody. And thank you again,
ladies and gentlemen. Nomus J. Thank you for joining the panel today, man. We appreciate you, brother. Be safe, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So that's everyone as on the panel has answered the question except for me, and I have to agree with Val. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was definitely the Brown Yogurt Show last year, and it's just the way that whole regime handled things. And it wasn't just how they handled injuries; it's the way they handled business. But shout out again to John Pennicini for handling his business with 2 softball-sized calcium deposits on his shoulders. That shows you what kind of player that young fella is and what he has the potential to be, because now healthy, he can make an even bigger impact on the field. Okay, so now next question is, has anything from training camp changed your season outlook on the wins and losses for the Lions? Okay, and this is coming from Doug Prince 72. Friend of the show, always asking some good questions and good comments down in the on YouTube. So we'll go to Mr. LL. You know what I'm saying? He holding it down. He ain't licking his lips, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But he got a roundaway girl. So what are you talking about? What you got, man?
Honestly, no, not yet. It ain't changed my predictions just yet. I'm still right around 9 or 10 wins this year. I expect this to be a surprise. I want us to be the surprise team of the NFL this year. So that's still what I'm expecting.
Yeah, one Pride 40 said, hell no, I was playing. He said no. Okay. Oh, Maniac Tim, what do you got, man? Do you think anything from the training camp has changed your outlook on the season?
Well, as far as the outlook on the season, I am a glass half full guy. Okay, so, and I really believe that from seeing and what I read is that they're buying into it, and I believe we got a coaching staff that's going to elevate the players to a point where we have not seen before. I mean, whoever thought that way back in '91 that the Lions would have went 12-4? All right, nobody predicted that before. So I think that we're going to have a real good season. I know last week I think I said they would lose 9 and win 8. But actually, I'm going to up that now, and I'm going to go for 11 wins.
11 wins.
11 wins. Yeah.
Man, let me get my
Kool-Aid is strong in this one.
Can I get some of whatever you're smoking, Tim? Can I get some of that?
Okay, let's go.
You may need that opium recovery program there.
Yeah, we need to introduce him to the recovery program.
I was actually
let's
drinking blue Kool-Aid last week on the show.
I was. Let's go to our resident counselor and the man who's had nothing with the 12-step program for Hopium, Jim Bordeaux.
It has not changed my mind at all. Tim has 11 wins, And I am here to help. I'm here to help you guys with that hopium addiction and the Kool-Aid that you've been drinking. I got 5 to 7 wins on this team. I love the new coaching staff. I do, but you need certain areas of stars and talent as well in this league. I just don't think we have that yet. I think we have, Kurt always says, I think we have what we want, but not who we want. And I think that's very important. So if you guys need help, we do have a 12-step program for anyone who is just overdosed with opium and just can't see straight any longer. So we're here to help, guys.
Okay, let's go to our resident governor himself, Anthony. What do you think? Has this changed your outlook on the training camp?
Hello, governor.
On the season.
All right, we don't all speak like that. No, it's not. But I think we're a 7 or 8 win team, possibly. I think that's where the ceiling is. And I love Dan Campbell. I think he's got the right idea about what we're doing here. He's brought in the right staff, the coaching staff, and we're seeing the effort from the players, which is obviously the minimum we want to see this year. But, obviously we're a bit worried. Would the inexperience count against us maybe with some of the staff and that? But I think seeing what we have, I think they're ready to go. And I think even if we do end up losing quite a lot of games, I think that we're going to be incredibly competitive in those games. And I think we're going to see, certainly the start of a great project going forward. And I mean, I'd say we were interviewing D'Angelo Amos the other day, and he gave us a few little tidbits from in camp there. And he says, Goff has been performing really well, especially with DeAndre Swift, weirdly enough. He said they've created an instant connection, and TJ as well. And obviously they're going to be 2 of his biggest targets if he's using him in the running game, in the passing game as well. So I think we've got a real lot of good pieces here. But like last year, we've got a lot of rookies who have got a lot of potential. And if we can begin to fulfill it, then I think we're going to do really well. And I think camp is showing that they're all absolutely determined to do the best they can this year. So for me, it's solidified my opinion that we can get 7 or 8 wins, but it's not increased my win total.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that, man. Hey, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It hasn't changed my mind at all. But now I'm gonna go to someone on the panel who probably think we're gonna win less because she's a Bears fan. Val, what do you think? Has the training camp changed your outlook on the season?
Well, to be fair, I actually gave the Lions a better season as far as win losses than I have the Bears. So I mean, that's saying something. But it hasn't changed my mind. 5-12 is what I've said from the very beginning. 5-12 is what I'm sticking with. There's simply because of the schedule. You've got all the team changes and all of that other stuff. The time to gel. 5-12 is pretty realistic. Maybe a couple of wins on top of that. Elements. But 5-12 is reasonable. But definitely, they're going to be an interesting team to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to welcome right now to the show, old timer Dave, Green Bay Packer fan. What's up, man?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good.
Oh, Green Bay Packer fan. Wait a minute.
Yeah, thank you for,
but he's a really good guy.
He's a really
Don't
good
judge
dude.
it.
I take that back. I take back my.
When did this become an NFC North show?
I don't know. Just now, I think we just entered that territory.
Actually, Jim and I had talked about that previously. This being or this turning into an NFC North show.
We have
at one point.
Yeah. Thanks for changing that camera angle. Get some sun, brother. All right. So we'll go to does it change your outlook for the season? What you have saw coming out of training camp?
Did you ask me?
Yes, I asked you.
Okay.
Yeah. I was laughing.
Yeah. So caught me off guard. No, first off, Val, I think she's taking some of the Kool-Aid because I remember being on here and she said we wouldn't win until what'd she say, week 8, week 9. So now she's got us above the Bears. So she's buying in a little bit. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, you still don't believe you're going to win till Halloween, but you'll at least get 5 wins after that.
Oh, we'll just get hot. Okay, all right. Hey, however we get them, however we get them. I like the answer that was given earlier because I wouldn't say this changes what I feel because a lot of the things that I'm seeing is stuff that I was kind of expecting. Like I expected Dan Campbell to shift the culture right away. He did the same thing with Miami. Everything changed as soon as he took over. And now he's doing it here. So it's like he's just, as he said, solidifying what I already thought would happen. The biggest difference for me, not even difference, biggest note that I took is from Jared Goff coordinating the protections. He seems to have a very big control over this offense, and that's what I was waiting to hear. Whether or not they were going to give him that, let him just run the offense, let him go out there and make mistakes. Don't try to micromanage the guy. He, you know, if you want him to see if he's going to be your quarterback, you got to let him run the offense. And that's what I've heard so far. Decker was talking about it. Somebody, okay, they're letting him run the offense. He's comfortable in this offense. If that's the case, my win total might pop up a little bit because that's what I wanted to hear. But okay. Aubrey Pleasant's being Aubrey Pleasant. This coaching staff is being what the coaching staff that I hoped would be is. I mean, it is what it is. And these guys have done fantastic jobs. You know, yes, maybe right now on paper we don't have the players, but we do have the pieces invested for those players. We invested in Okudah to be a Jalen Ramsey type of guy. He may not be there yet, but we took the pick to do it. And then when I see a guy like Aubrey Pleasant doing this with UDFAs, taking them to the top corners in the league, I'm saying to myself, yeah, we've invested everywhere. It's like we just need someone that can actually pull something out of these guys. I mean, we players are always changing, but our offensive line's been invested in like crazy. You know, aside from receivers, we got running backs now. You got the coaching staff. You have corners, your safeties. I mean, they're all top picks. Let's get someone to pull it out of these guys. And that's what I believe Aubrey Pleasant can do. So I wouldn't say it changed anything because I was kind of expecting this to happen, but I love what I'm hearing.
Okay, definitely. All right, Jeremy, what you got, man? What do you think about this?
I said from jump, with the abysmal roster we had last year, as soon as the coaching hirings was made, before a single cut was made, my ceiling of wins was 9, but it started at 5.
Okay.
Now, I think we're at 6 to 9. Okay. I'm not going above 9 because that schedule is brutal. We're playing a lot of playoff teams. I still say our first 2 wins are week 1 and week 3.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So we got to go to the man. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, brother, for going there, you know what I'm saying, throwing that shirt on for me, brother. Oh, time of Dave. What you got? What, you know, from the outside looking in, because you are a Packers fan, what have you heard anything out of the Lions training camp that you think that they may be better than what people think they are right now?
I've heard a lot of good things coming out of camp. And I even said that last year. I said the same thing last year. Things didn't work out as well as I actually anticipated for the Lions last year. But with everything starting over, starting from basically from scratch, I'm not as optimistic as I was last year. I'm going to be in that 6-win, 7-win maybe range. Scheduling, just they've got to get the gel in with everybody, and you can get some of it in practice, but it has to be gameplay in order to get everybody where things need to go. It could take 2-3 years to get a playoff team, but it's coming. It's going to be there. I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to be there.
Yeah, I hope we're wrong. All right, shout out to Lucky.
Now, what I meant by I hope I'm wrong, I hope that they do better than I'm anticipating.
Oh, okay. I thought you were hoping you were wrong the other way.
All right. Definitely.
We got one last question. Let's get a quick hit. Everybody, you know, just give me a year or something like that when you think we're gonna. This is from Chuck Hill. This is the last question today. Then we're going to go to final thoughts. Go ahead, Kurt.
All right. So we got when will we win the Super Bowl in Detroit? I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say 2025. Let's just go around the horn. Val, what you got?
What's the date? 50 years from now? You guys hurt the Cubs, so you know.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Wow.
Timmy, what you got, man?
What'd you say?
Tim.
Okay, 2024.
2024. All right. Old timer Dave.
After Aaron Rodgers is finally gone.
So next year.
Next season.
Okay. Next season. Okay. Anthony, what do you have? When we think the Lions will win the big one?
24. I think
24.
playoffs 22, Super Bowl 24.
Okay. All right. My man LL Cool Torrance, Mr. NCISLA himself. What do you got, man?
NFC Championship game this year, Super Bowl
Wow.
2025.
Okay. All right. Jeremy, what you got, man? What year?
We will be contending in 2023.
2023. All right. You know who it is, the curly top man himself, Mr. Dose of Dion, Team Light Skin. What you got, brother?
We're all feeling good today. 2022, Rodgers out, Bears are going to be a mess, and the Vikings don't know what they're doing at quarterback.
Okay.
This is
There
for
we
Super
go.
Bowl, though, right?
There we
Right?
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're talking
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to ride that trade, man.
Jim, the last one.
I got 2025.
2025.
We didn't go to Anthony.
Yeah, I did. What to Anthony?
You did? 24.
Yeah.
Oh, 24.
24. Yeah, he said
Yeah.
24.
You said it.
I just went around the horn.
Yeah, we usually do this an hour. It's an hour right now. Sorry about that. We couldn't get to the questions in the chat today, but I'm going to go first for final thoughts today. I appreciate everybody who's came on the panel with me. Appreciate you, Anthony and Jeremy and LL Cool Torrance, Old Timer Dave. We have Dose of Dion, Uncle Timmy. Maniac Tim, my wife Val, and we had Noah Stray on the show. Mike Jones tried to come on the show. I don't think there was some technical issues there, but yeah, appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you too, Prowl Nation. Keep it going, man. Keep it going. All right, guys, that's it for me.
Okay, Val, what you got?
Oh, for final thoughts?
Nope.
Yeah.
For what?
First thoughts, final thoughts, what you got?
She doesn't have any. Oh,
Oh, it's
The Bears.
it's so much fun hanging out with you guys. This is just so hilarious, you know. And I love meeting new people every single week, and our fans are totally awesome. So, you know, let's wait till we get into this football season. It's just going to be lit. It's really going to be a fun time. So, hang in there, babies. It's coming soon.
All right. Anthony, what's your final thoughts for today? And then once you get done, give the people how they can find the roaring.
Can I ask whoever's got that noise in the background?
Yes,
Can you mute
please.
your mic, please?
Mike, please?
Thank you.
Now you got to talk now, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think that was me. I do apologize. Yeah, just final thoughts. First, I just want to say thanks for having me on. Like I say, it's great for us to be able to get involved over there. Obviously, we're in a completely different country over here. We're a tiny little podcast. It's nice to be invited onto these things. It's great to see so many fans. Everyone's really welcoming. And so thank you for that, first and foremost. And I think, secondly, I just want to say, I think, you know, we're going to have a good year with the Lions. I think the draft class, we absolutely nailed it with every pick. I think Aleem McNeil's the guy I'm waiting for this year. I'm so excited to see him, a proper thoroughbred nose tackle coming. But I think we've got a lot of talented rookies. We've got, you know, a lot of talented coaching staff. I think we're going to have a good year. So, you know, let's not go in the doom and gloom of the Patricia area. It's a new age. It's a brighter future. Let's go for it. One pride.
Thank you. And how can they find your show?
We're called Roar of the Lions UK. So on YouTube, you can find us at just type in Roar of the Lions UK. You'll find us there. On Twitter, it's ROTL_UK. The same with Twitch. The same with Instagram. We podcast a couple of times a week usually. We do a lot of interviews. We've got uploaded on YouTube. Journalists, got Jason Kabinda, D'Angelo Amos, got a lot of guys, got a lot of good content. So please, if you do get a chance, check us out. And likewise, we do with you guys over there. We love listening to you, and hopefully you'll have me back in future when I'm not dealing with technical issues and all this. It'll be, but I've really enjoyed it. So, you know, yeah, thanks. That's all I can say again. And yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate you. All right, my man, LL Cool Torrance. Your final thoughts, and then how the people can find you on social media.
Of course, thank you guys for having me on, Jim and Kurt. Shout out to everybody that's on me today. Thanks for coming on, Anthony and Old Timer Dave. I shouldn't even say it, Joe, because you're a Packers fan. I really don't like Packers fans. My brother's a Packers fan, and you should hear me and him go back and forth about it. But
That's a worse house divided than Val and Jim.
Man, it's, I don't know, because they married. Me and my brother, I can, we can fight, and then it won't be no legal issues. But
Bears don't have the rivalry that the Lions and Green Bay have, or that the Bears and Green Bay have.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But no, happy Friday, of course. Have a great weekend, everybody. You can follow WTMN. That's my YouTube channel, WTMN TV on YouTube. WTMN World everywhere, WTMNworld.com. If you guys are comedy, stand-up comedian fans or some comedy fans, next Friday, downtown Pontiac at the Crowfoot, the first Friday comedy show, sponsored by WTMN and the Stoner Social Smokers Club, 9 to 11 at the Crowfoot, downtown Pontiac. Barbecue for sale, edibles for sale. Come and have a great time.
Man, barbecue and edibles, man, that's gonna be sold out. You know what I'm saying? All right, so
I'm hoping
Jeremy, Jeremy, thanks for coming on. Your final thoughts, and then how they can find your new show.
All right. It's Let's Talk Sports. It is on YouTube and also on Spotify. You can also find my fan page, which all of you pretty much are on, except for maybe Dosa Dion and Tim. I was going to give a shout out to Anthony to join too. Motor City Kneecap Biters on Facebook. You will see us there. I post a lot of news about the Lions, and as well as help you guys with the Prowl Nation there page.
Yes, you do.
Definitely, you definitely do. Hey, yeah, thank you for coming on, Uncle Tim. What you got, brother? Your final thoughts for the show?
Well, as we all know, that being a Lions fan, it's not always easy.
That's the truth.
You know,
it's a love-hate relationship.
It's fun.
It is. We may get mad. We may see those disappointments because we have. But, man, it's time to get rid of that. It's time to go ahead, get excited, bring the wins, and bring the pride to Michigan, all Detroit, and show everybody we are Lions proud.
All right. Thanks. Hey,
Yes.
good. Yeah, we definitely are. You know what I'm saying? We got Proud Nation. We want pride around this joint. All right. Old Timer Dave, you were there for a quick second, but give me your final thoughts, brother.
As always, awesome show, guys. You guys are really killing it. I'm really hoping that Detroit can be a little competitive this year. I think everybody's more than ready for it. Y'all are awesome. You always have been.
Well,
thank you.
We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Old Timer Dave.
Thank you.
All right. Dose of Dion 2.0. You know who it is, man. And as always, you know I call him Mahomes Jr. Final thoughts and how they can find your show on YouTube.
Well, I'm bad with names, so I was hoping I could like pull them up, but I can't. So I don't really know who exactly is in here, but I do like having the new people in here, man. It's awesome, especially different fans. I just like hearing them talk about our team, but also hearing them talk about their team because I don't follow them that heavy. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
getting that
That's
perspective.
Old Timer Dave, and then
Old
that's
Timer Dave.
Val.
And I know about Val. I know Val. And I don't remember who left, but he dipped out before I could say anything. Okay. Anthony.
Yep.
I tried to join your thing. I think I requested to join, but maybe I joined the wrong one. And Cool Torrance, you're doing a stand-up? Are you doing it?
I don't, but
okay, I was
I'm with some guys that I know, and they're stand-up comedians, but we're just giving other stand-up comedians opportunities to come on and make everybody else laugh.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, appreciate you guys having me again. It's always an awesome show, especially when we get new people in here, and we've been having parties in here recently. We got like 9-10 people. You're just going and bop, someone else comes in. I was like, oh snap, okay, someone just came without their shirt on. It's cool. Like I just wasn't expecting it.
Old Timer Dave was flashing us today.
Oh, I'm never going to live that one down.
No,
never hear the end of that one.
Cool, it's cool. I love it. No, thank you guys for having me, man.
Hey, man. And how can they find your show on YouTube, man?
Oh, just Dose of Dion 2.0, no spaces. And for everybody in the chat, I'll put a promo code out. And I'm trying to figure out how to make bobbleheads. They're like over $100 though, and I'm like, I can't sell those. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Okay.
Alibaba or DH Gate, check them out. Alibaba or DH Gate.
Okay, you guys
Yeah.
send that to me.
All right.
You send me a link to that.
Thanks
I'll
everyone
try.
for coming on the show. My final thoughts. Thanks to the panel. You know how we get down. And Jim, my man Jim Bordeaux. Thank you for all you do behind the scenes. But he has our show up. Lions on the Prowl shop.com. Get your show gear over there, Prowl Nation. I saw I had some people in the chat said they already ordered some gear. So we appreciate that. And, representing Prowl Nation and us out there in the universe, putting that Lions pride out there and, representing the show. We really appreciate that. You can definitely go get some Detroit Lions gear over at fanatics.com. The link is in the description, and a portion of the proceeds help us grow this channel. And you can go check us out over on bellyupsports.com. They definitely had your NBA draft coverage right there on bellyupsports.com. So go over and check those guys out. They got a ton of podcasts and some great writers over there on that network. And as always, we appreciate everyone tuning into Free for All Friday, because it's Friday, then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday, and we always have a good time on Free for All Friday. So enjoy your weekend, people. Training camp is here, and we're going to have more coverage, and we're returning to a full slate of shows next week. So definitely tune in. We're going to have the 4 days a week with one Free for All Friday. You know how we do it, being live. Prod 74 said, go 20 Lions 2021. And that's what we're going to do. So one thing you got to do for Brother Steel, you have to, whatever you do in life, you got to ball up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For the panel, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.